Well, folks, to further the story of clean bulking that I'm doing, eating a lot, of course, all meat, eggs, a little bit of fish, mostly fatty meat. Fat content is pretty high, which is about, well, not high. It's about half fat, half protein in my diet. So that's good. In the last month and a half since I got sick and almost died from whatever that bug was, I've put the 6 pounds back on. Now, of course, you're going to say, oh, that's all fat. That's all fat. Really? Here's the numbers. Put a quarter inch on my arm in 6 weeks. Bicep. Put a half inch on my neck. Still scrawny compared to what it used to be. Put a half inch on my chest. Chest and back. Put an inch and a half on my legs. I'm thinking, that's a lot of, put a half inch on my calves. That's a lot of growth for 6 pounds. So how did you manage to put on that kind of growth? Well, partly it's muscle memory. First time you put on muscle, going to take a long time, going to take years. Remember, I used to be 240. So I used to be a lot bigger, so the muscle is there, the muscle memory. My growth, even though I'm 55, my growth will be a lot faster than a new guy entering the gym, and certainly than an old guy entering the gym for the first time. If you're entering the gym at 55 for the first time, don't expect those kind of numbers in that speed. It'll come, but it's going to take much longer. You're probably looking at 12 pounds of lean muscle mass a year, I think is what they recommend a person first time out would get if eating properly and training hard. It's no PEDs or HRTs or anything like that as well. But you're wondering, where did that come from? Well, it took over an inch off my waist in 6 weeks, consuming. Let me look at the other page on my spreadsheet. Yeah, I'm doing spreadsheets. I'm an engineer. Yeah, I'm geeky. So my average for you calorie counter people, calories don't matter, but it's for you calorie counter people, I've been averaging 3,500 calories a day, which works out to an average protein intake of 262 grams of protein. Yes, that's more than the 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. And a lot of people recommend, sorry about the movement of the phone here, try not to get seasick. But we also have to remember is that after age 40, your ability to absorb and use protein starts to decrease. Well, 40 was 15, almost 16 years ago now. So my intake has to be a little higher by nature, as plus I am bulking. I'm not maintaining. 1 gram per pound of body weight is great when you're maintaining, but when you're trying to bulk, you always want to be, definitely not in deficit. You don't even want to be in maintenance. You always want to have a little bit of extra. Now, people worry about gluconeogenesis. If you look at the work done by Dr. Ben Bickman, he's got some great stuff on YouTube. He will point out that gluconeogenesis is not a forced response. Well, it is, but it's forced by usage, not by feed. It will go sideways on you if you're consuming carbohydrates, yes. If you have a high carbohydrate diet and a high protein diet, gluconeogenesis could be, for lack of a better term, out of control because it's getting multiple confounding inputs. However, what he points out from all the research that he's done, which is quite a bit, is that if your carbohydrate intake is zero or almost zero, ketogenic, I'm carnivore, so it's almost zero. I mean, there's a little bit of carb in meats, but tiny amounts. Even the amounts I'm eating, I'm getting between 5 and 8 grams of carbs out of my meats every day. Almost nothing, right? But if you are eating that way, then increasing protein does not cause a glucose spike through gluconeogenesis. So even though my protein is a little higher than what my body needs, it's not being turned into sugar. I'm not getting insulin resistance and all the rest of it that you'd expect from that kind of thing. So look into that research, and you'll understand why it's safe to do that. As well, I'm keeping my fat percentages It was a little bit low to start, but then I brought it up. So the average is 49, but I've went to the butcher. I got, they trim steaks too much. Everybody does. I remember when I was a kid, there'd be that, that 3/4 inch ring of fat around your steak, which everybody loved. Well, they don't do that anymore. So last time I went to the butcher, he gave me a big bag of fat trimmings for free, which are almost gone. So I got to go back to him again. So I'm adding 2 ounces of pure fat to my steaks every day. And it's really good. I just fry it up with the steaks and cut it up neatly with the meat, and it's quite delicious, and it's providing my fat. So my fat percentages in ever since I started adding the excess fats, 70% of my fat calories, because you calorie people just won't get off your calories, or 53% of by gram weight has been fat. So I'm just a little bit over 50-50, giving me lots of energy, feel great in the gym, weights are going up, reps are going up, muscles going up. So my clean bulking is paying off, and it's clean. Like I said, I lost an entire inch off my waist while adding 6 pounds. So it's not fat, and yeah, some's water, of course, because your body is 65-70% water. So absolutely, some of it's water, and some of it, as your muscles fill up with glycogen, will retain a little extra water as salt as well. So yes, some of that 6 pounds is water, of course, but that water is not being subcutaneous because I'm vascular, and it's not storing in fat, and it's not just like I got a bag of water in my body. It's water that's filling up into the muscles where it belongs. So clean bulking is going well. We'll keep it up for the next year, 2 years, see how long it takes me to get up to the weight that I want to be. When I get there, then I'll look at doing a cut to get to the place where I want to get, and we'll see how it goes.